weiß Bescheid. Intendo.
Welcome to the most forward-thinking, inspirational podcast on the planet. Prepare to reevaluate everything you've been taught.
They have the power. We have the numbers now. It's all just a constant illusion of control. They break us like horses.
And they can tell us we're crazy, and we can say, well, you haven't seen anything yet.
Everything you knew was a goddamn lie. Put you up and explode like it's the 4th of July. Possessed by perfection in this land, if you're awake, you're the enemy. Where they lead, you will follow. Well, I guess that's just the way it goes. And if you look away, you'll be doing what they say. And if you look alive, you'll be singled out and tried. If you every day a new deception, pick your scene and take direction, and on a search to connect, but I don't wear a mask and I have no regret. Down on your knees, you don't look so tall. Open your eyes and the empire falls. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Mental Mastery Alliance podcast. Today, all day, is Wednesday, March 23rd. You guys know where March went? I swear, I have no clue. A blink of an eye, this month is gone. It's been an interesting month, that's for sure. I don't normally like to go this long without recording, but we didn't do that. There was a lot of stuff that went on in the back end for the other program, the other podcast, one of the other podcasts, where I am in the process of connecting with quite a few individuals, but primarily reconnecting with Tony from Becoming the Free and putting a lot down. We have restructured a ton. We have built up a proper back end, which is really exciting. We own our own broadcast at this point. Where in the last time, the mistake that we made was we signed up with Anchor, and Anchor then got bought by Spotify, and Spotify terminated our podcast. The whole thing blew the seed right up. It doesn't exist anymore. So most times now, when you own your own seed, Spotify can pull an episode or, kick your show off their platform altogether, but they can't take you off other platforms. And this one got us. So we learned our lessons. Now, maybe we weren't talking about the right shit back then, or maybe we were, maybe we had to take these bumps and these lumps. And this is one of those things that people don't really pay attention to in life, that good and bad is a perspective. It's an idea. It's a shift. At the time that we lost the show, it sucked. I did not care for it. But looking back on it now, the stuff that we were talking about was right at the very, not the very beginning, but right at the beginning of my aggressive waking up, where I needed to it was like an egoic wake up. Like I needed to be right, and and I was blown away by this stuff, and all of it made so much sense that you're just aggressively out there, blah, blah. that doesn't get anywhere because nobody listens to that. And then when you start speaking with aggression in that tone or condescension or anything like that, the universe responds back to you. You get people responding back to you with negativity, with ignorance, and with arrogance. And you get frustrated. It's not worth it. But you don't have to. So the more you sort of go through that, and yes, we got pulled. It was great because he and I had done a lot of solid work, a couple of great episodes in there, and a couple of weird ones. You know, we talked about some weird stuff, but we're coming back round 2. And we just recorded today. We've got 2 solid episodes down as of this recording. It's not out yet, but it will be. And when we do go live, I will be announcing it on this show as well, allowing all of you guys to go over and check it out. We will be going live on Instagram as well. The Instagram account is open right now, but there's nothing there. So if you guys are interested in following it, we'll start posting soon. That is Instagram.com/TheRealBTF Podcast. And there's no pictures up there now, but they're going. So head on over and be the 3rd or 4th person to follow the page that's empty. You're going to see a lot of fun stuff. We're going to do some video stuff. We're going to do a lot of video podcasts over there, and really create sort of a really solid buzz and great community over there. I like it a lot because a lot of it goes into it. A lot of it's going to be my energy, but Tony's energy adds so much to it. There's going to be a ton of guests on that show, so it's going to be a dual host podcast done properly with passion and good conversation and good times. We really want it to be good, and we really want to put some marketing wheels behind it. This podcast and you guys are absolutely amazing. I love each and every one of you. And I'm looking to expand that and get to know some of his people. This podcast ain't going anywhere, obviously. This is, a baby of mine. This is an outlet. It's a part of me. It's a piece of your thoughts, of your patterns. This is, to me, this is one of the most enjoyable things that I get the honor and privilege of doing, sitting down here and having these conversations and unloading these thoughts. And hopefully helping you guys or making you guys think a little bit about something, just having fun, just being okay with it, just sort of shaking off any sort of anxiety, any sort of depression, any sort of bullshit, and having a laugh at the same time. Fucking everybody's taking themselves way too seriously these days. It's kind of fun, actually. That's a good segue because we're looking at this narrative right now absolutely cannibalize itself. Are you seeing this? I posted something on, Facebook. I'm going to see if I can share it. I'm sure I can. But it's one of the greatest things to watch the narrative cannibalize itself. We've got what's that guy swimmer, lady guy, transvest. I don't know. Am I going to offend somebody? I don't know the terms. I think Dave Chappelle said it best when he says, "How much of your fantasy world in your area do I have to participate in?" I'll participate in some happily, but how much? And so this guy was like ranked something like, I'm not going to drop any names just because it's not even worth any of that sort of stuff, but you guys know the story. The guy was ranked 200 something, 300, 400 something in the men's, and then he became a lady, and then he ranked first. And I was watching this woman do an interview about a similar story where he became a she and started running. And she was saying how on the sidelines, our coaches are always cheering us on and pushing us. And when we're doing our relays and we're doing this and we're doing that, but what was disheartening for me was listening to her coach say to her, slow down. And she said, she put this out there and she said, to me, I bust my balls. She said, so I'm paraphrasing here, obviously, but she says, I push and I push and I push. We all push. We're all massive athletes. We're all giving our absolute all. And this guy has to slow down a little bit just so it doesn't seem so weird. And he's winning by 5, 10, 15 seconds. Right. And the NCAA, DeSantis is on record today as saying the NCAA is bastardizing sport. I'm all for this. Obviously, anybody can be anything they want to be. This is welcome to the world. You can literally be whatever you want to be. No one's here to stop you from doing it. But people shouldn't take from others just because they want to, because they've changed the story. Right? If you really want to do this, if the NCAA really wants to do this, if they want to play this game, in my opinion, why not have men's swimming, women's swimming, and other swimming? Whatever denomination you want to call yourself, you just go swim with them. That's simple. That's all inclusive. That's everybody gets a very fair shake. Physically. But what's happening, you're seeing you're seeing the narrative control or contract on itself. You're seeing the narrative use the narrative to destroy itself. But what you are seeing is more anger, more frustration, and all this sort of stuff sort of pop up. And it's kind of interesting to see because it's cannibalizing itself. So anyone can get angry at anything they want to get angry at. But you're watching the whole thing, the whole anger cycle, like spin in, like a snake eating its own tail. It's fascinating. This guy decided that he wanted to be black. He now associates as black. And this is his story, and it's entertaining. And he's spoofing, he's farcing, he's doing it intentionally, and he's going to get people talking. And I think it's a great thing. I'm just going to play the clip for you right now.
I'm black now, day 30. A month ago, I came out identifying as transracial, going from Caucasian to African American. According to the law, race is a self-identified characteristic. Race is not based on science, biology, genetics, or anthropology. Facebook Gaming chose to call this hate speech. They said my transracial identification was going against the spirit of Black History Month. Everything changed when black celebrity Charlemagne the God came out with a video supporting me.
It's Black History Month. Jerry picked the right month to announce this. Okay, what as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. What's happening to this man who identifies as black is an injustice, and it's happening because he identifies as black. Jerry wrote on Facebook, you heard him, if a man a woman can suddenly decide to change their genders and be fully supported in this transition, then I absolutely can make the same decision for my race. I'll tell you what, Jerry, you got me there.
And how great is that? Right? It's the truth based on the weirdness. And if somebody would say, I agree with them, but I don't agree with him, what gives us the right to agree and disagree? And then what gives us the right to get angry and then not get angry? And if you think about all of the narratives and all of the things that we're actually focusing on, right? Who put this shit in our heads? Why do I give a shit what other people are doing with their sexes and with their this and that? Like, why am I even talking about this right now? Right? Because it's the buzz thing. It's the thing that people are interested in, you know, or it's the thing that I'm focused on. Maybe I don't even know maybe there's nobody listening. Maybe I've been talking to myself for years now. Maybe the stats are lying to me. Maybe the emails are fake too. Maybe everything's crazy. But when you talk and when you move and when you are, again, massively truthful and true to yourself, your environment changes. And the world around you changes. The things that you're doing change. Also, your focus changes. If you don't like what you're seeing, change your focus. People will say things like, well, that doesn't make it go away. It just means you're putting your head in the sand. That's bullshit. There are a billion things out there that we don't know about. Yet we think it's massively important that we talk about certain things. So we've got our head in the sand about everything supernatural, everything spiritual, everything higher evolution, everything higher vibrational, right? And then we say arrogantly, well, no, that's just woo-woo juju. It blows me away that every single person is willing to denounce the good and fight for the bad. Isn't that weird? Where did that come from? Why is that a thing? Why are we even doing this? So I talk about these things hopefully with the intent of, connecting some dots for myself mostly, and for everybody else that's listening. I mean, we're in a spot. It's crazy the spot that we're in, especially in Canada politically. We now have an NDP liberal majority. And again, who cares about politics? But at the same time, no Canadian, not a single one said we want an NDP liberal majority. But that's how they're going to roll through it, right? So what do? Do we watch this narrative? Do we get upset about it? Man, I'm so sick of politics. I'm so fed up with this shit. There's an old saying in sales and in marketing, like, you vote with your dollars. What happens if we just all stop paying taxes, right? We can't, because we're afraid of what they'll take from us. If we don't understand that we are literally slaves right now, it's ridiculous. Inflation is the same thing. Inflation is a tax that nobody talks about, or a tax that nobody can see. Because think about this. Imagine I've got $100 in my hand and you've got a printing press and you print thousands and thousands of dollars. And now all this new money's out. Now I still have $100 in my hand, but I've got to spend $5 on a loaf of bread instead of $1 because of all your printing. And you've got the ability to print as much as you want. And the more you print, the more you buy, the more you have, right? At what point does it end? Inflation is a scam. Finance is a scam. That's a whole other episode. But man, I'll tell you this: the moment we start breaking free from the ideas that that we believe that we need to be under, the moment we start looking out and asking different questions and new things, this is the moment that we shake the most fundamental amounts of our insecurity, of our depression, of our anxiety, by adding new information. And it's just one of the greatest things in the entire world. When you can go with the flow and acquire what you think you need to acquire with regards to information, everyone thinks I need more money because that's the world that we live in. I'd be happier if I had more money. Money would solve all my problems. So if you need more money, there are books out there that'll teach you how to do a thing to earn some money. Go on Fiverr, do this, freelance something. But what happens to us? We're like, nah, I'm not good enough. Nah, that's not for me. No, I can't do it. We talk ourselves down. And then what happens to us? We watch Netflix. We watch this, we watch that. If the actual world that we live in, the world that we're fighting right now, wanted us to be happy and healthy and pure and all this sort of stuff, and they want to keep money in place, well, good. They can do that, right? And then instead of everybody having more money, more and more money, individuals having billions and billions of dollars, more people have more skills. Make the people have more skills. Make the people learn something new. Get rewarded for watching YouTube videos that are educational YouTube videos. Crypto has a thing. Coinbase, for example, if you go on Coinbase, they pay you $1 or $2 or whatever to learn about their cryptocurrency. No joke. They just drop it into your wallet. It's only $2. Who cares? But right now, I do them just for fun because I'm like, oh, a new crypto. I'm interested. And you get like $2 or $3. Who's going to say no? Like if I walked up to you and said, do you want $2 or $3? Yes, I do. Well, here you go. Now you've got it. Right. At the end of the day, the thing is, you look at the money because they tally up all the money that they've given you. I'm over $140, just random stuff, listening and learning, and you become mildly aware of certain things. So I'm like, this is great. There's got to be the same thing for YouTube. They could do something similar to YouTube. You want to earn some money, learn a new skill. We will pay you to learn a new skill. But what do? They say, if you want to earn more money, you got to pay us. You got to give us money. If you want to earn more money, you got to give us money. And then when you do earn more money, you have to give us even more money. So there will come a point in time where people in humanity sort of realize that taxation isn't about you or isn't about paying them. They don't need it because it's all fabricated. As you've seen in COVID, they just willy-nilly printed whatever the hell they want. They gave money left, right, and center to everybody. Everybody under the sun got CERB and all this sort of stuff. Right. But for years and years and years, they didn't have the money in the surplus for the veterans. They didn't have the money for the indigenous. We still have shitty drinking water in half of our communities. What the hell is this all about? Right. But everybody under the sun gets $2,000 a month. So money's fake. Money's fabricated. It's all bullshit. It's all pufta. And it's all coming to the forefront. It's all going to be released. The more this goes on, the more people are seeing it. Some people will see it. Millions and millions and millions won't. But the thing is, if you're seeing it, you're listening to this right now, you're hearing the transition, you're seeing the movement, you're watching the very same media machine that beat down your brain about COVID. You're aware of it. You see it for what it is. The same media machine that told you to hate Trump. Everything was just, he's a bastard. It's all terrible. The same media machine that said all of COVID, we're all going to die. The same media machine that said all of this crap is now promoting this massive support for Ukraine. I don't support war in any way, shape, or form, but I'm curious to know why all of everything that you've ever seen ever is down with Russia, up with Ukraine. Like if this were real, don't you think that the Russians would be, or Putin, and there isn't the Russians, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm all over the topic board on this place. I'm not even going to put any of this in the title because this shit will get me pulled back again. The Russians, right? There's no Russian army. There's no propaganda. It's not like people are. I just don't think it's the way it used to be, where countries could go to war, where old men could fight, battle with each other, and then the young have to die because of their battles. I mean, if everybody just quit the military, that'd be interesting enough. And again, more fear tactics, more scare tactics. But if you look at the media is so over the top in support of Ukraine. It's incredible. And I mean the media, I mean social media, I mean Instagram, I mean video games. I mean, everything is they're blacklisting and blackballing Russian stars and athletes. And and companies, and everybody's pulling out of Russia. Like, it just seems so much. It's so much, right? So I don't have an answer as to what it is or why it is what it is, but I have more questions based on how they're displaying it. And that to me is the thing, right? So there is no direct thing that any one person could think about. And if anybody wants to accuse any one person of thinking of one direct thing, then you see that that one person who's accusing the others of that direct thinking only has the ability to think that way and wants to be aggressive. You then have the ability to see that person doing that thing and thinking that way and saying that thing and saying, I don't want to be a part of this, and moving on from it, and finding the people that are more open-minded and more able to connect with who and what you are and how you want to think. Because it's up to you to grow. It's up to you to spend your time as wisely as possible to become the person you want to become. Right? Against all odds, believe it or not. They want you drunk. They want you smoking cigarettes. They want you completely brainwashed and watching football and spending all your money on Nikes and Oakleys. This is what they want you to do. But you have every power under the sun and everything at your fingertips to say to yourself, I am going to achieve what I damn well want to achieve. I'm going to get out there and I'm going to get done what I need to get done to become who I want to become. And I'm good enough. And I believe in myself. And ladies and gentlemen, in the infamous words of Red Green, keep your stick on the ice.
Thank you for listening to today's Mental Mastery Alliance podcast. Let the team know you're listening by using the hashtag MMA and Mental Mastery Alliance. Want more motivation? Be sure to follow online on Instagram at Mental Mastery Alliance and on Facebook at Mental Mastery Alliance. And remember, your perception creates your reality. Make it a great day.
You got it, Pontiac.